I left my family when I was 42 years old. And I had grown children, and I was a grandma. And I left because I chose. I always wanted to be a soldier. I am a soldier. I feel like I always have been a soldier in my life. So when I left my family and I made the decision to leave my career and pursue another career, because I've always been a soldier. I always felt like I've been a soldier. And when I got there, I feel like it was nothing like it was presented to be. The camaraderie was not there. I participated in activities that was totally against who I am, what I feel, what I've been taught, my morals, my values. I experienced things that I never saw before. And because of that, I am not the same person that I used to be.
Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song.
Bowing was actually a practice of warriors. In bringing their hands together and coming into contact with new people, it was showing that I'm coming in peace. My hands are together, I'm not using a weapon. In many different mindfulness communities, when you bow, you're bringing your hands together, recognizing the wholeness and fullness in yourself and in each other.
I'm retired Navy. I did 20 years. I retired in 2005.
Army National Guard for 15 years.
I was in the Air Force. I was a mental health tech active duty.
I was in the Navy for 8 years.
I served almost 10 years in the Army.
I did 24 years in the Marine Corps. And unlike what it sounds like most of you, I'm not super proud of my service. I'm not proud of the people that I served with. I'm just now starting to connect back to being a veteran.
The theme for this retreat is the courage to connect with each other, the courage to connect with our own life experiences. We're also asking people not to run away, to do your best to stay, to really discern, do I really need to leave? Then you do, then you honor that. Am I just going because I'm uncomfortable? Then can I stay?
What we're going to be exploring together this morning is, what did it mean to be a woman in the military for you? A lot of times we haven't ever had the chance to talk to other women veterans about our experience as women veterans in a supportive way.
Even the question of what does it mean to serve as a woman in the military, just the language around that even feels kind of loaded. I served under Donast Hotel for so many years. I was married to a woman and deploying, and people are having conversations about their families and who's at home, and I didn't feel like I could share those things. The way I kind of coped with that was, I'll make myself just a badass flight medic, and I don't have to be thought of as something else other than just a badass flight medic. And so that's who I was for a lot of years. But there's an absence of fullness in that person.
I can remember in Iraq experiencing soldiers coming back bloody from their different missions where somebody may have gotten shot. You can't take people out of the war, so you can't say, oh, you saw too much, so you got to stay back this time. But you got to get them ready to go again the next day. You're the head mental health person, so you're not allowed to kind of fall apart.
I was a medic. I was there to treat the local women because the men couldn't. So my experience was probably, I looked at it more as a positive. Now, like, what does it mean to be a female in the military? I never noticed. I don't know. I mean, I never thought about it.
I cannot forget, I cannot erase things that I've seen and things that I've done and things that happened to me.
It was clear I was a woman and I was less. And not because of my merit, not because of my decision making or anything. It just, I wasn't allowed a seat at the table.
My way away from my parents was going to the Naval Academy in the 90s, and it was a horribly abusive environment.
We're going to protect each other. We die for each other, right? That's what we do. Semper Fi, always faithful, never leave your brother behind. And that wasn't how it was for me.
I wrote stuff about people that wasn't true, that affected their career and their livelihood, because I was ordered to.
They destroy people's careers, they destroy their life, and I was part of the problem, and I was complicit in it.
I don't trust women. They were my worst enemies because they would know what happened. They saw it. I had a woman walk in when I got attacked in the shower. A woman walked in, and I didn't expect her to save me. I expected the support, and it wasn't there.
Oh, they all turned on me too.
And I didn't say anything because I was afraid.
We see you, we hear you, we honor you.
We got left out of the Me Too. You notice that the actresses and the stars, they got to spurt out everything that happened to them, but it happened to us, and our brothers did it to us. We didn't have to go to war to fight an invisible war.
I fucked you over to save me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because I hurt you too. I had no choice. My ass was on the line.
Hey, Reed.
totally share the same feelings you have. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you so much.
Irene, it doesn't matter because I did what you didn't do. And it only ruined me. Because we can't win in this system. They don't believe us.
Feel the steps that everybody's taking. Now, sometimes we may think that when we're really vulnerable, when we share that, we may think that that's kind of a burden for other people or it's a problem, and actually it's a gift. Because when we can be so real, that helps everybody be real.
We do have to remember, though, like, I feel so horrible that you all went through this. I served 17 years and I never did, and I'm sorry this is what you guys went through, and it hurts to hear. But the Air Force I saw and my experience, I weigh this back and forth, and my merit got me in positions.
So I want to just, sorry, Becky, I want to just pause, just to feel like there's something happening in you that's really activated. So just to pause and feel how you come back right now to your own breath and feel how you take care of what's happening there. How am I showing up right here, right now? And how am I finding my freedom, my own authenticity to be right here, now? Not forever, and not to get rid of something, not to think I'm going to clip this and it's never going to come back, because those weeds come back. But how can I show up to be present right now? Where do you block? Where do you get blocked? Where do you get lost? What's going to help you find tools and strengthen tools so that you can feel really true to yourself? So this is about really finding what are the tools? What is it that you want to strengthen? We're okay. Everybody in this room is okay. We don't have to try to take away anybody's pain. It's how we sit together with it. When I was 21, I was diagnosed with cancer. And my parents were terrified. And their fear was just like pouring off of them. Which I understand. If my kid was diagnosed with cancer, I'd be terrified. But they wouldn't talk about it. I was so scared. And my mother right away said, everything's fine, you're okay. And I got really angry. I don't want you to try and take away my pain. I just want you to feel it with me. At which point my mother started to cry. And I started to cry. And my mother held me. It was one of the most intimate moments I ever had with my mother. Because we could just feel the pain together. Instead of trying to pretend it wasn't there, make it okay, take it away. Let's just feel it together.
I know who I was in the military. I loved it. I didn't want to leave. I needed to be with my team. I needed to continue being there for them, with them. Children would come into the clinic with terrible wounds and injuries. And they would leave happy after I would just render really rough treatments, but they were happy. And even after I left Afghanistan, I kept going at a 10. I think of the expression, you're at a 10 and I need you at a 2, but I was going and going, and I didn't realize it till years, till I was out, I was amped up. I knew who Sergeant Bennett was, but who am I now? You know, who is Becky? When I asked for help, I got sent to a hospital, a really shitty hospital. They threw drugs at me all day. I didn't know what was going on. Was told it was my fault, that maybe you're not trying hard enough. And they say there's no stigma. Ask for help, right? I felt alone the whole time. I know I'm not the inpatient that the Air Force made me.
You gave so much of you. It's an honor for me to hear you. I love you.
Your strength, your determination, and your loyalty is your gift to the here and now. Embrace your resilience and live in it.
I see confidence, humor, a wicked humor.
You my sister from another mother. I love you.
Defiant, innocent Becky. Who you are and who you have always been shines through your protective, joyful armor. I see the competent, intelligent woman who provided not only care, but love and compassion to children of the world. You make a difference. You represent honor and perseverance, and I am privileged to support your transformation.
I've got some triggers, and maybe sitting there, like you said, with just kind of feeling maybe putting my heart on my chest, or, you know, I've got new triggers that come up.
There's a lot here, Becky, that wants to be touched and met. There's a lot. And hasn't had the chance yet for you to really let stuff come up and feel it. So one way that you get to feel that is by stopping and feeling what's happening in your body in this moment and staying there. Does that make sense to you? And you deserve that care, Becky. Just like you gave care to all these people when you were in the service, you also deserve that care. And you have to turn towards yourself and ask, what about me? What's speaking to me? What needs room to be heard and met for me?
I can feel, I mean, I can cry like a champ. I can feel that sadness emotions, but...
So this is just when you feel yourself tightening, when you feel yourself getting triggered.
I just want to punch something.
So when you feel that, you're heating up, you know, or your heart is pounding, that's saying something is here. Something in me is speaking.
Peace is hard for me.
Yeah. That's a really important statement, Becky.
Peace is missing in my life.
Okay.
I spent first probably 10 years of my military career and my EMT and paramedic career being the spring into action type, because I think that's how we're trained. And the way I did that was I was very emotionally distant from what was happening. I've had a lot of deployments into Iraq and Afghanistan. I treated a lot of pain with a lot of medication and a lot of superficial comfort. But I wasn't there at the depth that I think that those folks deserved.
Thank you for sharing your truth. Your strength is inspiring.
What you do and how you do it is amazing.
You are brave, courageous, loving, giving.
You're a true hero. My hero.
Angela, I see you. And I hope you can find some comfort knowing these decisions were in God's hands, and He used you to assist in His work.
I feel a little insecure about my own safety net here of my peers. When people who are very well-intentioned say things that are meant to be supportive, but they come from such a different value set, the effort of making that adjustment in what I've heard sort of dissipates that sense of resonance.
There's two different things that I'm hearing. So one is how you accept people's heart reaching out to you because they want to reach out, and just be able to accept, just even let that in. The other question is, how do you reach out to people who you feel like they can be there for me? And can I risk being vulnerable? And can I say, I need support. I'm here and I really want to do this work and I really want to be held. And I don't want to be doing this alone. Which doesn't take away from your resilience and your capacity. I'd love to be there with you.
Thank you, Liam.
I also think there are really people here who can meet you if you reach out. Just feeling how you're arriving in your seat right here. This is a forgiveness meditation. For any way that I have caused harm to another, knowingly or unknowingly, in thought, word, or deed, because of fear, anger, or confusion, I offer forgiveness as much as is possible in this moment. If possible, just hearing the sounds that are right here. Sounds come and they go. Air comes in and it goes out. Notice if there's any letting go in you as the air goes out. Just the breath.
I was pissed at people when it came to forgiving. And there were some people that just scenarios just kept playing over and over. And I cried. And I realized it's not like I'm just crying and it's cleansing, but it's painful. There's a pain there. I was thinking like, okay, can somebody please take the knife out of my heart now?
I had really been naive about the ways in which we were treating people. I thought that, at least as a medic, I would be exempt. I participated in some really inhumane and degrading things.
When you said forgive others, I instantly was pissed, and I'm still pissed. I mean, really, fuck them. They don't deserve my, and you know, you can't be honest about it, because if you're honest about it, people give you the whole diatribe about forgiveness is for you. No, fuck you, it's for them. And if you think about it in a biblical sense, it's for them. You're releasing them from what they've done. You're releasing them. Fuck you, you hold on to it. You have to take that shit to the grave. You have to stand and be judged for that. I'm gonna let you.
If we know that we're pissed, to feel like, where do I feel it? What is it saying to me?
I don't even want to answer those questions. I don't want to ask those questions. I don't want to answer that. Because I know that answering those questions means you're progressing to that forgiveness, and fuck that.
You know, if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't.
Exactly.
The only question I would put back to you.
I knew you were not leaving that there. Knew it when I said it.
The only question I would put back to you is that because you're really helping yourself be true to yourself, or is it you turning away from yourself? So this is my formal facilitator language. We got to move the shit around. You know, it's just like, this is the activity for the morning. Move the shit around. Okay, here we go. I am wearing shoes.
Hey, over here, over here.
I'm wearing blue.
Yes, I
Look at Gail go.
Can I stand in the middle? I like long walks on the beach.
I am super proud of being super gay.
I have on polka dots.
What? Polka dots.
Damn it, I got to check.
Wait, how do you end up with
Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
I can walk around this room and I can feel the trembling inside my body. My palms sweat, my heart rate's up. And I don't know what the next step is. You know, there's space for me to feel all of that. And I don't know where it goes after that. But I'm glad that
it's okay not to know. And I don't know, I'm speaking for me. I don't know, being in the military, it's so ingrained in me to know in the military, you know what time you get up, you got inspection, you got the mission, everything is laid out. So now it's scary because we don't know.
Did you notice moments when you were triggered?
Yes.
So what did it feel like in your body when you noticed that?
Tense. I just immediately felt, I don't know, anxiety, and I didn't know what it was. And it was like, I I really wanted to run. So I'm like, okay, mind, bring your breath back to here, because I didn't want to feel it at the moment. I guess maybe that's safer for me to not connect with it because it's less painful.
So safer that's an interesting notion.
Yes.
So when we keep stuff compressed and tight, it has an impact on us
Yes.
in many different ways. So I don't exactly equate that with safety.
That choice of words.
No, it's not, because I think it's our notion that that's going to keep me safe. But in the fundamental ground,
it's not.
That's my experience, that it's not.
I believe it, because I did want to avoid this retreat.
Except
I'll
you can't.
be honest, I did, but something was drawing me, and I knew that I had to be here for me and for my daughter, because she's, I guess, whatever I'm feeling, I may not articulate it to her, but I know she feels it.
In some ways, the best you can do for your daughter is to do this healing work for yourself. You can feel the truth of it. I can feel your mom in this hug, and I can feel your daughter in this hug.
Yeah.
So I hear that inner critic in my parents' voice about not being like enough, or why didn't you take this direction?
I don't know how to explain it. My self-critic is more like justifying decisions that I make. Almost like my dad.
All of us with like something fucked up in our childhood, we end up going to the military to get away from our family of origin. Like almost all of us.
Okay, so like when I become a doctor, that's one of the things that like I want to focus on is veterans that join the military to get away from the traumatic childhood that they face, and then going into the military and facing trauma.
Which is so
and
many.
then getting out of the military and
I
facing
love your
trauma.
goal. There's so many people that come in with such heavy trauma. And I, as a recruiter, it's hard enough to get medically qualified people. So how do we? They're just adding more trauma when they come in.
But you can't save them from that because it's better than the shit they've been dealing with. At least they're getting fed. They have a roof over their head. They're not living in a car.
This has been so touching to me. Like, no matter where you walk, you just see people embracing. And it's like a warm, tingling sensation. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. Like today, I remember Susie coming up saying, "Can I hug you?" And it was just so awesome.
I've seen so much compassion that you've offered to each other. You've snuggled. People have been having hard times. You're there in a second. Could you be a compassionate friend to yourself? Could you nurture that voice? So whether you call it your appreciative voice or your compassionate friend, it's like, how do I nourish that voice towards myself?
If I would have known this was about self-compassion, I wouldn't have come.
Say more, Stephanie. What do you mean?
I wouldn't have come.
Because?
Maybe because it's foreign. Maybe because it's, not because it's uncomfortable. I don't mind being uncomfortable. But everything that I want to say, there's a but. And I know that's the self-critical, and I know I can recognize it, but at the same time, it doesn't mean it's a lie. It doesn't mean it's false. So this wasn't fun for me. I didn't like it. I still don't like it.
And It may be one of the most important things and opportunities for you.
I'm so glad I didn't just hear what you said. Oh, God. Here we go.
I said.
That's my bad ear. They're both bad.
I said, this may be one of the most important things and most important opportunities for you. You can go back and sit over there. I kind of like sitting right here. Whatever buts there are, it doesn't take away the truth. But when we haven't used this muscle and we don't know it, it can be really painful, especially when we've got layers upon layers of pain that are stored up there. And it can be terrifying when we think about starting to open up the door. And it's a pretty lonely place behind that door. Compassion is one of the most powerful allies we have. The compassion that we would give to anybody we love. Why wouldn't we give it to ourselves? We can only pass on to our kids the work we've done in ourselves. Bow to pain. You know, the way I grew up was something's painful, stuff it, turn away from it, hide it. Having this practice gave me the tools to be present. It changed my life.
Now we're in silence, please. And then the beach is yours.
How old's your dog now? Your dog, you have a what? Mini Aussie. Oh, mini Aussie. 5 months, very hyper.
Yeah,
pocket Pamela.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is the best, and I really feel like every single time I pick one, it's the right one.
For you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Today it was just like awesome.
I feel like right now I'm at that point where I'm ready to go home, but very much conscious of the fact that
You're not disconnected.
exactly there's still that
That connection is going to be there. That support is still going to be there.
Yeah.
And some of the people you shared your stories with, you know, you can call them on and be like, hey, you remember I said this or said that, and, you know, I'm having a hard time right now. And, you know, kind of like having someone you can lean on.
And it feels like more of a conversation than let me start over.
Right.
You know, let me tell you
yes.
from the beginning who I am,
Right,
what's going on.
right.
Yeah, I need to.
It's like that familiar.
The foundation.
The foundation is there,
Mhm.
right? Perfect word. The foundation have been set.
If there's coffee here.
I know. I want some
Do you need a
coffee.
little coffee?
Yes, I want some coffee. It say beer and wine. I could. she got me off.
This is a real opportunity for us to kind of honor and live the closing of this chapter. Just share what's in your heart and whatever appreciation you want to express to the group.
Every job I've ever had, there's been ranks and titles and roles, and it's been very clear. And I walked in this room, and there were no ranks on anybody's shoulders, and I wasn't in charge of anything, and I didn't know what to do. And I feel like you guys get me.
I guess 'cause we're taught in the military, suck it up, don't cry. Thank you for your love and your support and your kindness and giving me a place to grieve. I feel seen and I feel valued by people and loved.
You know, I kind of came into this situation very like, I am not gonna like these people. I didn't like them in the service. I didn't want to be around them then. I've avoided them since. So I had no idea what the fuck was in store for me. Like, not only on the journey, but just with all of you. Like, I had no idea that I could love you guys, that I could appreciate people where they are.
This hasn't been easy for me. The process in itself, I felt really bad for having an outburst, but the fact that nobody judged, nobody's talking behind my back. And still try to find ways to open my heart and breathe. I don't know. So I'm just gonna stop there before I try to figure out what I do know or don't. I just feel everybody's vibe right now.
You were the one woman I couldn't figure out. And that's dangerous water for me. And I was angry at you initially. Yeah, I was like, why does this bitch keep talking about how wonderful her service is? Like, we had shitty experiences. You are unapologetically patriotic. It reminded me to love my service. It reminded me to even with the bad things that happened, that I love my brothers in arms. I had focused so much on the negative that I did not remember and didn't allow myself to cherish the good and the good people, because there were so many more of those than there were the bad. I have an active duty husband. So for me to push that away had taken a little bit away from him. And so I'm so grateful that you gave that back. I'm gonna be calling you and texting you. You have no idea what you have unleashed here, because you and I are we're gonna bond. We're gonna bond.
Can you feel the strength in this circle, the beauty in this circle, and how much of your beauty, the deep strength of who you are, can ripple out? How much there is to give from here.
This was a piece of driftwood that was partially broken when I found it. I'm sure it lived on this magnificent tree, and then it got broke off from its friends and then tossed around in the water, and it was on the beach, half broken, and it reminded me of my life and the fears that I have and what keeps me where I am. So I am letting that go.
Anger is a protection. It's something that I'm so comfortable in. It's something that I'm so it embodies me. I feel powerful in it. But I don't want to be angry anymore.
I'm so afraid of connection. So afraid of connection. So I'm letting go of the fear.
We see you. We hear you. We honor you. We see you. We hear you. We honor you.
From the corners of the earth to a circle on Black Mountain, with hearts as big as oceans and spirits strong as fountains. The path we're on can show us how to practice with what's here right now. We see you, we hear you,